Another episode of, you guessed it, Juxtaposition. Reverend Mark Hughes, the Vermont Racial Justice Alliance, giving y'all a shout out. I'm joined today with a special guest. I got Aiden R. Graves with me today. He's one of our summer interns over at the Vermont Racial Justice Alliance, where we're doing our work from the Richard Kim Center. And today is a special episode. I'm excited. I'm excited about this episode. This is one of those episodes that we only get to do once a year. So it's kind of like, yeah. So I'm glad you came. Thank you so much for being with us. And what I'm going to do is today just talk to you a little bit about, what we're doing with First African Landing Day, and also probably even, get some comments and thoughts from you. That's why I wanted to have you come on. Thank you so much for being with us, Aiden.
Thanks for having me.
I think what we're going to do is kind of give a highlight, like an overview, if you will, some of the stuff that we're doing. I mean, for those who are joining us, do not miss it. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. We haven't even started blasting yet.
Yeah.
We were working, how long would you say we were working today on getting just social media out?
Give it an hour.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And I looked, and we haven't done an email blast. We haven't done any like massive posting or anything like that. And I think we reserved, maybe a couple hundred spots or something. I think maybe 35 people signed up in just a few hours. Wow. What are we talking about? First African Landing Day. So be a part of this joyous commemoration that brings people together. We can't wait to see you there. For those who are joining us, please join us. It's here's what you need to do. If you want to learn more about First African Landing Day, go over to firstafricanlandingvt.org. I bet you got that memorized by now, right? Firstafricanlandingvt.org. That's where you need to go. We'll tell you some more about First African Landing Day. But your thoughts so far, Aiden, since we've been planning a lot of this stuff together, and maybe you can share with what the youth are doing on this as well.
Well, the youth, and me being a part of the youth, we've been...
Right?
Yeah. We've been working on figuring out what we think kids are going to want and what is going to make this a fun and happy occasion. Right. And we were pretty much told that our budget, we were kind of going under the budget.
Right.
So we went a little bit more. So honestly, we're working on...
What are you guys doing? Is it a secret, or just in case youth are watching?
Well, it's a secret, but I can divulge.
Okay, you're going to divulge a little bit. Do tell.
So we're working on, we're getting popcorn machines. We're getting, I can't remember whether we're getting ice cream machines, but I think we might be getting those.
Was that approved?
I don't think so.
Okay, just check it. Okay.
I doubt we are, but...
I think one of the things that you guys were talking about too was you said popcorn?
Yeah.
Was there any cotton candy involved?
Yeah, there's cotton candy, we've got snacks, we've got people working on DJs, we've got people working on the grills, we've got DJs, we've got a lot of stuff. We spent around $300-400 on snacks alone.
Right.
This is one of the biggest things I've worked on as a kid. This is one of the biggest opportunities I have ever done.
Right. So are you guys getting along there? I mean, it's like, yeah. I was watching you guys working together, 7 of you guys, and I didn't want to see anything. I was just like, this is entertaining. I was thinking maybe I should get the popcorn machine going, maybe just watch y'all. But yeah, First African Landing Day, inspired by the 400-year African American History Commission and the 1619 Project. The purpose of the day is to recognize and highlight the resilience and the contributions of African Americans since 1619. This is to acknowledge the impact that slavery and laws that enforce racial discrimination have had and continue to have on the United States, and to educate the public about the arrival of African Americans to the United States. So it's a pretty big shindig. We've been doing it. This is the 5th anniversary, our 5th annual that we've been doing it. I'm excited just to devote this entire episode. And what I was thinking is that, we got this episode. Maybe it'll be music. Maybe it'll be, we'll have a lot of slides and all that other stuff. And I thought about it, and we've been pressed for time, and there's a lot of things going on. I said, it'd be nice just to sit down with a guest, and maybe somebody who maybe doesn't know as much about First African Landing Day, somebody that's like totally interested. Tell everybody on the air that I didn't force you to be.
I volunteered for this, actually.
Well, it's kind of fun though, because I know we were, as a group, we were in the studio. Last Thursday was it?
I think
Which
so,
was
yeah.
a blast, because y'all got a chance to, I guess, basically take the whole studio over. But I know some of y'all are going to be making some. Well, we talked about actually creating a media justice kind of like a program for other youth to come in and train up. So we'll come back to that. First African Landing. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on it? And your questions too.
Honestly, it's one of the biggest events I've ever done, and I think it's going to be a blast, honestly.
Yeah.
We've got tons of stuff. We're planning on getting, like, bean bags for, like, the inside of the barn. But there was the mosquitoes, which I think they're spraying.
Yeah.
I just don't really know when.
Were you down there with us that day?
No, but I heard about the mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes. Intervale. The mosquitoes. So it's a problem. So hopefully what we can do is we'll have that taken care of. I know Intervale said that they were working on it, but it was horrendous. I've never seen any place in my life with that many mosquitoes before. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, just for those who are watching, I just want just kind of a little bit of a educational moment. And I thought what we would do is we would use this as a time for folks who'd never heard of First African Landing Day to learn something about it. Maybe you didn't, maybe you knew it, maybe you didn't, but on the 21st, on the 24th of August in 2019, Governor Scott proclaimed that the fourth Saturday of August, that it would be First African Landing Day. So that's just in case the folks who are watching, in case you didn't know. So that's what this is, what all of the brouhaha is all about is that what the governor said is, quote, all in the state of Vermont are encouraged to learn about the commemoration of First African Landing Day and to expand understanding and appreciation of the significance of the arrival of Africans in the United States and the contributions of African Americans in the United States. He said the fourth Saturday of August shall be henceforth recognized and commemorated as First African Landing Day in Vermont. How much have you been hearing about that in school, and to what extent has this been a surprise to you, just hearing more about this?
I've heard nothing about this in schools.
Nothing?
Nothing.
But wait a minute, this is the governor said it's a thing.
I know.
So why didn't you hear anything about it in school?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the first thing, but it's cool though, because I'm glad we've got a handful of y'all who are out here, who are with us over the summer, because this is an annual thing. We do this every summer, so hopefully it'll come back next summer, whether you're with us or not. But it's like one of those things. This also gives us an opportunity to tell other folks about it. Did you? I know we were kind of shooting out notes, emails, and texts and stuff. Did you tell any of your folks about it this afternoon, and did you get any responses?
I told my parents about it, when we started working on it, but I also told a bunch of group chats that have 20, 25
You got 20
people.
group chats? Dude, really?
No, 25 people.
Oh, okay, I was getting ready to say, whoa.
I do got 50 group chats, but those are old, and people just randomly make group chats.
Yeah, just I thought I saw a unicorn type or... So yeah, the thing though is no, seriously, it's good, because what we're doing is I'm excited because we're getting folks involved that we wouldn't have gotten involved otherwise, and folks like you, folks like Christina, Minty, Alex. I'm glad that you guys are involved in doing the work. It's so exciting to watch y'all, because it's kind of like we as adults, because I'm old, very old, okay? So it's like, we as adults, we have no freaking clue at all, you know? And so when you guys come in, you guys are like, yeah, we got this. And you guys are like, it's almost like the movers come in and you guys are moving everything around. So it has been exciting. Fun for you, and what's on your mind as far as thoughts more about First African Landing Day before I go into my next commercial here?
I was wondering about the sponsors. I was wondering, or not sponsors, who was gonna show up and be at the tables and.
Yeah. So that's interesting, because one of the things that I was doing today is, but while I was late, I know you were sitting in the studio waiting. You were like, this guy don't show up, it's gonna be a problem. Is because one of my old buddies called me, and he's a real estate broker, and he was just. He was excited because somebody from the people that we just shared it with, just a brief moment that we started sharing this afternoon, got it to him, and he and his wife, his now wife, are like super stoked, and they're like, yeah, we'd be totally down the table. So what he was, what he and I was talking about is that they would likely show up with their table. And if you're watching, there's a few ways that you can be a part of this. And this is great that Aiden brought this up. Is one of the things that you can do is you can just show up. So, I mean, you got to go out, though, to firstafricanlandingvt.org. And I think there's also firstafricanlandingvt.eventbrite.com. You can go out to our website, is vtracialjusticealliance.org. Again, vtracialjusticealliance.org. Every single one of those, there's breadcrumbs that goes back to the sign up. The sign up is Eventbrite. The tickets, they've only been on sale it's a free event, but they've only been available for about the last maybe six or 7 hours. And they're going about maybe 5 or 6 an hour. So that's the clip. They're going out, and we're going to cap out maybe about 200. We might raise it to 250. So sign up, okay? Because we everything is kind of limited. Number 2, what you can do is you can definitely come out and table, like Aiden is saying. And that is if you want to, just like you said, maybe you want to be a part of the event, and you've got something, maybe a product, maybe there's some art that you have, or maybe you just want to let folks know about, what you do and who you are, and as you stand in solidarity with us in the work that we're doing. And yeah, go ahead, come out, bring the table, bring your tablecloth, bring your articles and so forth. We'll help you out. Reach out to info@vtracialjusticealliance.org. We'll help you out with that. There are other ways that you can be involved. One major way is what we were doing today. Is just telling folks, just pushing it out to our networks. So if you're watching today and you're getting the memo, or you see it, we'll do some email blasts later on tonight as well, and we'll be doing some work here in the studio, maybe putting together some short spots as well. But yeah, send it along, send the message along. Let folks know what's going on. Many folks are not going to be surprised, because there's going to be a lot of folks returning. And then, of course, the last way is we do need, you said it, but you didn't mean it, but we do need your sponsorship. So there's a way where folks can go on and support this work of the youth. There's also some work that we're doing in order to get what we're calling the Kemp stage deployed and upfitted and getting actually the main stage. And then also there's a wellness area as well. So you can choose to support any one of those. And those how you support us it's out there on those websites. So I gave you 4 ways to do it. The 400 Years African American History Commission, I want to tell you a little bit about now, because really what First African Landing Day, Aiden, more than anything is like I think, and we talked about it a little bit, is in 2019 what was going on is there was this emergence of the what they call the 1619 Project. This is Nicole Hannah-Jones. We talked a little bit about that. We've actually seen the 1619 Project. There's some videos that we've seen. But the emergence of that in the New York Times, and then we also noticed that the 400-Year African American Commission was established. And we started to think, I started to think, and we started to talk internally and just do the research on what this all meant and what it meant to us, and the possibility of us being able to lift this up and to lift it up is something that we could create a commemoration around. So it was the commission itself was federally appointed. It's operating independently, and it's also it's established by the Secretary of the Department of Interior and also administered by the Park Service. So this is the 400 years of African American History Commission Act. I encourage you to look it up because it is something I think that is relevant in the work that we're doing. I know you guys probably hadn't heard about that before you started doing this work, but obviously we'll be making more information available. So there's a number of things that are happening. We've got Dr. Wanda Heading Grant, for those of you who are planning on coming out, especially our UVM folks. We reached out to UVM today, so we definitely blasted some of the senior folks, the provost and others, the diversity, equity, inclusion director, and some of the others over at UVM. So you're on the spot. We've challenged you with those 4 options to come out and hang out with us. That'd be great to see you. But the Dr. Wanda Heading Grant is one of yours. She will be the keynote speaker there at the event. So really, really excited about Dr. Wanda Heading Grant joining us as the keynote speaker because I didn't think that she would be available. You've already talked about some of the things that you're excited about. Anything else or any other thoughts, anything you want to kind of tell folks about the event itself?
Well, I hope it's going to be a nice day, too. Oh, it's like 50-50 shot in Vermont.
Right. Have you checked the extended forecast?
I haven't yet. I probably should.
Right. So, folks, check the extended forecast for us. So we've talked about that, though. We definitely can't fit in the barn. Some people can. I think it's going to be fun in the barn. I'm going to try to hang out in the barn. You guys would probably throw me out of there. So for those who are watching, the barn is where it is going down. These guys have tricked. They got plans to trick this barn out completely, and to have it like a place where youth can go and seemingly never leave. So it just seems like it's just it's going to be a lot of stuff popping down there. But yeah, I mean, there are. What else can we tell them about what's coming up?
Oh, we have a Switch. We're getting rugs, I think.
Okay. A Switch.
Definitely
You're talking about the Nintendo?
Bags, Nintendo Switch. We're going to have kids on the gaming consoles.
Okay. I've been so out of touch with that, I'm embarrassed to say it. I think I know a little Super Mario or something like that, but you guys are probably not going to like me trying to hog the Switch because I always wanted another turn. What else can we tell them? Oh, I forgot to mention Bobby Hackney. Bobby Hackney is going to be on the main stage, and for those of you, he's our local and he's our own. Everything from gospel to blues to jazz to rock and roll. Bobby Hackney has been known for decades to just be tearing it up on the stage. So we are very, very fortunate to have the likes of Bobby Hackney on the main stage. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I think it's maybe somewhere around 3-something-ish where he's going to be around. And I think Dr. Wanda Heading Grant is going to be 2:30-ish, somewhere around there. But lots of things going on. Definitely, what about the tribute, the hip-hop tribute?
Oh, yeah, the 50-year anniversary of hip-hop.
Yeah. That is going to be, so I'm excited about that. For those who are watching, the 50-year anniversary of hip hop is a big deal. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and plug this. I don't know whether you knew it or not, but the Sugar Hill Gang is going to be over in Essex on the weekend prior to this. That's going to be the 19th. For those of you who are watching who know who the Sugar Hill Gang is, and for those who don't, you better get over there. But this is something else. We're going to have a small tribute to the 50 years anniversary of hip hop. And it's funny because you're looking back and you're saying, gosh, I was 35 years before I was born. And I'm thinking to myself, I was 10. But it's a 50 year, definitely 50 year hip hop tribute that folks are not going to want to miss on this. We'll talk a little bit about the 1619 Project. We talked some about the deal over there with the 400-year African American History Commission. The project, it's an ongoing initiative from the New York Times Magazine that began in 2019. The 400th anniversary of the beginning of American slavery. It aims to reframe the country's history by placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans at the very center of our national narrative. So just something for you to take a look at. That is the 1619 Project. There's a book. There is a series out on Hulu. I encourage you to take a look at that. That's informing some of this work. Again, that is the 1619 Project. That's the book, and that's the series as well. Just wanted to make you aware of that. So I think as we're winding down, one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm getting out, through you, is your excitement, your participation, and also, the fact that what we're doing here is, somebody said nothing about us without us. This is a multi-generational. This is a interracial, a international, a interdimensional, a transatlantic, galactic. This is what we're doing is we're pulling everybody together. And, I know that sometimes it seems, at least to me, that there's some people that are not here. And what we're doing is we are asking you to come and join us. We are asking you. I know that we're not seeing a lot of, say, for example, young white women, young women in our, coming out and doing this work with us, or even our young Black men. We're not seeing a lot of them either. But what we're doing is we're inviting everyone out. Everyone is welcome. We're going to have a blast doing this work. I don't know. I think the only thing I can do to close it is just to say, and this is gonna catch you by surprise, but I'm gonna do it on the air. Is I want to thank you because you've come out and you put a lot of heart, you put a lot of soul into the work that we're doing. You're showing up. You're doing the work. You're taking on responsibility. And you're making it happen. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming out. And I think some of the work that you're doing is actually going to leave a legacy for folks that look like you, for folks, your family, your friends, and so forth. It's very important to me to be able to do this kind of work with our white allies, especially our white young men allies. You guys are very, very important to the movement. And I appreciate you a lot, Aiden.
Thanks, Mark.
That's it. We are done here. Our work is done, and we are getting out of here. The Vermont Racial Justice Alliance is behind all of this nonsense through Black leadership. The Vermont Racial Justice Alliance addresses the root causes and impact of systemic racism with data-driven approaches that include solutions ranging from platforms and initiatives, outreach and education, community engagement and support, and cultural empowerment and programming, which is what First African Landing Day is the flagship of. The Vermont Racial Justice Alliance work spans a broad range of activities to ensure the accomplishment of the mission, and that, my friend, is to secure sustainable power, to ensure agency, and to provide security for American descendants of slavery while embracing our history and preserving our culture. Thank you for coming out. Juxtaposition, the special edition, First African Landing Day. See you there.